came out of the womb with a side hustle.
Lauren McKenzie is the self-proclaimed tough behind Ren Creative, saving startups from boring cookie-cutter branding.
It's terrifying to just jump out both feet, no life vest or anything. Just like, okay, I'm gonna just see how this goes. No health bennies, no 401k, like, wow.
Talk to us about the hustle culture versus like, just working on your business.
My therapist is like, hun, like if you don't slow down, like you're gonna give yourself an autoimmune disease.
Why is branding important?
Do you want some teenage kid like working on your car? Like on the inner workings of your business?
You had a Photoshop class at what grade?
I was like 7 or 8.
Welcome back to the Colorado Business Podcast, the #1 business podcast in Colorado. Today, who is our highlighted sponsor?
RectorLawFirm.com.
Rector
Stuzinski Law. So they're great. They've been with us for about a month now. They're great. If you guys watch Michael's episode along with Bo Worthington, they were on like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and he had a red thing in his eye, but that was just because that was temporary. He's not a demon. But
the blood vessel, dude.
That's not how he always looks. No, I'm just kidding. I might cut this out. but yeah, so today we have on another amazing person doing business here in Colorado. We have on Lauren McKenzie with Ren Creative.
We're so excited to have you on.
I'm so excited and nervous.
Yes.
I know.
It is. How does that feel? Like, have you done a podcast like this before at a video level like this?
I haven't done one at a video. So the video kind of adds like a little extra, like, oh God, I'm going to get to see all the weird things that I do, all my shifting and moving around a bit. But yeah, I've done a couple podcasts before. So
okay,
it's just been a while.
That's awesome. Well, let's just start from the very beginning with you. How you got started in your business. But before that, even like what brought you to Colorado Springs? Because it's kind of a interesting story. Once we were doing some research on you,
yeah,
we kind of found some of that out.
I moved to the Springs in 2012. My first husband, he was in the military. So we PCS'd here after I finished school in Texas. Didn't know a single soul here. I didn't even know a thing about Colorado Springs. I just was excited to get out of Texas. So came here, took me a couple weeks, got my first job out of college at an ink company doing package design. So that was a lot of fun. Just kind of getting my feet wet and getting to know the community. When I first got out here, it was a bit of a culture shock. I'd also never lived anywhere with winter before.
Oh man.
So that was
Where
fun.
are you coming from?
Yeah. Originally Southern California,
Okay.
Arizona and Texas. So all warm places.
Oh yeah.
With very little winter. So it was a little bit of a shock, but I've been here 13 years now. So
Yeah, that's such a common theme, with people. Like when I came here, I knew no one at all, and it was almost, and I wasn't in the military, but the military did bring me here. So it's kind of such an interesting, and I think that's maybe a big factor of why we see that so much is because we're surrounded by 5-6 military bases.
yeah, no kidding.
Like that.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's
very common, I feel like.
Man, but 2012 is kind of where you came in here. So it was a very different town back then, right?
Oh, so different. I know. I'm so proud of Colorado Springs.
Right?
It's grown so much since then. Yeah. But totally different. It was so boring. And it's so funny. I feel like anytime I Denver people will come down and be like, Colorado Springs is so boring. And I'm like, but you have no idea. It's gotten so much better. I'm so proud of it.
Oh, totally. So talk to us about those first few years you're back here. Obviously, you're going into it a little bit, but kind of getting your footing, getting to know the community, and just getting to know folks in and around town. And then, of course, get up to the point where you start to open up your business as well.
Yeah, so I really had come from a little bit of a hospitality background when I was in college too. So for me, it was really important for me to find those places for me to get comfortable with, like find a local pub, find a local bar or restaurant. And I was working off of Garden of the Gods at the time, and I was still really just the nature of the design work that I was in at the time was very focused in the beverage world. I did a lot of packaging design for like Anheuser-Busch, Coors, Molson Coors, Miller Coors, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo. So I was really immersed in that kind of realm, and then craft beer around that time was
so many
really popping
up, yeah.
off in the Springs. Yeah. So I became a regular at Trinity Brewing, like the OG Trinity, off of Garden of the Gods, and just got to know regulars, bartenders there. And really that's just kind of was what planted the seed for what now is my incredibly established like friend group and family that I call here.
In your network, I bet, yeah.
Yeah, and really that's how I got my network in college too. Was I'd become a regular at a place, and they'd find out that I was a graphic designer to some capacity, and like, oh my gosh, we need help with our menus, and I did a lot of that in college as a side hustle. And surprisingly enough, here I am still designing some menus here and there because I truly have a heart for hospitality industry and problem solving. Really, at the end of the day, yeah. So it really kind of took off from there. Word of mouth. People started, oh, I know this girl. She comes in all the time. Think she's a designer. I don't know what she does. And then more breweries would open. At some point, I think I was also beer tending at a couple as well as like a side kind of thing.
Beer tending, you made a difference there.
I'm sorry?
You said bartending and then you corrected yourself to beer tending. I've never heard of
different.
I've never heard of someone separate it like that.
Well, I mean, a bartender would correct you for sure.
Yeah.
Difference being that they only served beer.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I wasn't like a mixologist making cocktails or anything like that, or even really serving food. It was just a brew pub. So with a focus of just knowledge on the beer. And so I had started working at FH Beer Works.
Nice.
And I'm RIP. Love you guys. Nikki and Travis, if you're listening to this, love you guys so much. But I started working with them as a beer tender, and they had purchased another property and wanted to rebrand, change their name. And they're like, well, why would we use anybody else than one of our own? So that kind of got me as one of like the biggest jobs that I took when I first started Ren Creative full time was kind of stepping into helping them with things. So although I'm a little all over the place with my timeline here, but yeah, that was really the craft beer industry was kind of what got me involved in the community. And then I started working at the Independent for a little while. And really that's where a lot of my networking kind of.
So you know Matthew Schnipper?
I do know Schnipper. Yeah. We go way back. And so we worked together at the Indy, and I got a lot of connections there and was designing advertising for a lot of small businesses. And really that kind of just grew my heart even more for the business community here too, was just like, oh my gosh, please let me help. Cause like you're working in a newspaper and you're seeing everybody's logos and ads and photos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I should call this person and see if they need some help with things. And so really that's kind of the heart of it all for me and where it started.
All right, folks. So we want to take a quick minute to introduce our diamond sponsor, Chris Seegers with Exceptional Business Advisors. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your business, sir?
Man, a question that we love to ask our potential clients is, do you know what your business is worth? And if you sold your business today, would it fulfill your personal and financial goals? If you're a successful business owner, but you don't know when or how to sell your business, and if you've ever wondered what each additional day in your business is actually costing you, we'd love to chat. If you're ready to spend more time with your family, your friends, or traveling, come sit down with our team, because when you work with Exceptional Business Advisors, we'll help you build a blueprint to sell your business successfully and help you create, capture, and achieve your dream life. Don't wait for the right time. The time's now. Go ahead and scan the QR code or book a discovery appointment at excoadvisors.com.
Now let's get back to the show. All right, now check out some of the other amazing Colorado businesses who also make this show possible.
Lightning Glassworks and Screens.
Lightning Glassworks and Screens is Colorado's go-to for fast, reliable window and glass repair.
Family owned for over 30 years, their mobile service team brings glass in a flash right to your home or business.
Call or text 719-649-4001 or visit fastglassrepair.com.
Lightning Glassworks, Colorado Springs, local experts in glass repair, window and window replacement.
Bright Leaf Energy. Bright Leaf Energy is revolutionizing how sustainability goals are achieved across commercial and industrial real estate.
They're the experts in building decarbonization, bringing collaboration, innovation, and flexibility to every project.
Whether you need a strategic decarbonization roadmap or flexible engineering support to scale your team, Bright Leaf Energy helps you crush your ESG goals while increasing NOI.
Learn more at brightleafenergy.co. That's brightleafenergy.co.
Junkin Hall.
Need to clear out clutter fast?
Junkin Hall is Colorado Springs' go-to for same-day junk removal
with the eco-friendly service and a 5-star team you can trust.
Visit junkinhall.com to schedule your free estimate today. That's JUNKNHAUL.com. planetduck.com.
Be Our Guest Getaways. Be Our Guest Getaways specializes in Disney cruise resort and theme park vacations.
Planning a Disney vacation can be stressful. Let Be Our Guest Getaways provide you with concierge-level service for free.
Learn more at beourguestgetaways.com. That's beourguestgetaways.com.
Planet Duct. Planet Duct is the #1 choice for professional air duct cleaning in Colorado Springs and Southern Colorado. With state-of-the-art equipment and top-tier service, they make sure the air in your home or business is clean and allergen-free. Breathe easier with Planet Duct. Learn more at planetduct.com.
Fast Signs. From banners to vehicle wraps, Fast Signs delivers custom visual solutions to help your business stand out. Their team ensures your message is clear, bold, and effective. Get your signage needed handled at fastsigns.com. That's fastsigns.com.
Proud American Electrical and Solar.
Give Proud American Electrical and Solar a call today for all your electrical and solar needs. They are locally owned and operated business right here in Colorado Springs. If you're looking for information on solar, this is the company you will want to call. Check out their website at proudamericansolar.com. Use promo code COSBusiness for a 5% discount today.
Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care.
Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care offers affordable, accessible healthcare with a focus on you. They provide exceptional primary care without the hassle of insurance barriers. Experience a patient-centered approach. Learn more at pinnacleapc.com.
And now let's get back to the show.
I could imagine that as I'm a graphic designer as well, like going from like Pepsi and like all that stuff to like craft beer gives you so much more creative freedom. I could imagine. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And at that time too, like I feel like, craft beer is still a thing. I just don't necessarily feel as immersed or connected into it anymore. I also found out that I have a gluten allergy. So I'm like, oh, okay,
bummer.
this is way less fun for me now.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm a little bit more removed from it and have evolved kind of into more branding and more like holistic approach to design stuff. But yeah, it was really the work that I was doing at the ink company was very like, one track of like I was doing 3D canned design renderings, point of sale design, packaging, on shelf, on premise type things. And so it was just very, very
systematic.
Niche. Yeah, and it was very niche. And it was a great job. I really enjoyed it. I made a lot of connections there, but I was ready to spread my wings for sure after that. Did a little bit of work in some PR at the indie. I feel like I had another job. I don't know. Who knows? Pre-Ren Creative days. And then, yeah, I kind of at that point was like, I just feel like I'm made for a little bit more than just punching a clock. And just my personality type is a little hard to got a little bit of a problem with authority sometimes. So being my own boss is really kind of the best thing for me. And I've really enjoyed it, and I'm super grateful for 8 years now, 9
so
years
crazy,
in
yeah.
business. I don't even know. The pandemic has really messed my brain up.
A lot of people for sure.
I'm like, what year is it? Where are we? What's going on?
It's almost like like a BP and an AP. After pandemic, before pandemic.
No, truly.
Going on.
I always do ACBC.
Yeah.
Before COVID, after COVID, right? Yeah. But it is true though.
Yeah.
So where does that creative side come from you? Like, it sounds like a lot of your career has been associated with that. You went to school for that, but like when you were younger, were you more inherently more like creative and just like, I always see that with like creatives like Andrew, obviously having a business partner like Andrew, he's wired different than me in that way, which is awesome. But it's also like, where does it come from? Where did it start? Where was that crystallized moment for you growing up? Was there a moment for you where you're like, man, I really love this?
Yeah.
In other words, where does it come from? Where does it go?
Yeah.
Where does it come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah. I was always a creative kid growing back. I look back at old pictures. I'm really grateful. My mom saved a bunch of stuff. And she just sent it to me recently. Like I got this whole box in the mail of my childhood drawings, which, geez. And I'm like, oh, I really always was this way. It just maybe wasn't like as encouraged. My dad was definitely very like, you're going to be a starving artist for the rest of your life. Like you need to go get a job in like tech. And I'm like, what? But I like to color like a lot. So it wasn't really encouraged. I don't feel like on that side of my family. But looking back, I definitely was always marker in hand, making a craft. I was cross stitching. Like I was a very anxious and still am person, just anxious energy, you know, like I grew up in the church too. So, you know, having to be in the church several times a week, I'm like, I'm bored out of my skull. And so I'd be 7 years old and I'm like cross stitching in the church pew, like just something, you know, like something to keep my hands busy. And it's funny because, you know, you always listen to folks talking about being an entrepreneur and like, I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. And for me, it didn't really feel like idealized until like I got to that. I like arrived and then kind of had like self-reflection, like looking back and going, oh girl, like we were really always meant for this. This was always supposed to be, you know, what we were going to do. And I always tell this story about, I think it was like a second grade, third grade or something. And I had rented this book from the library. It was like a book of typography and just handwritten alphabets, like different styles in there. Like some of them had like flowers and leaves and whatever. And I remember getting it from the library and going, oh, this is so neat. And back in the 90s, right? Like we had like little name cards on our desks that was like the most you could customize your desk.
Yeah.
And so recess, all my friends are playing out on the playground and I'm like hustling for $1 these custom handwritten name cards for all my friends. I'm like, give me your lunch money.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I will custom write you this cool ass, you know, like name card for your desk. And so that's how I was hustling some extra lunch money or spending money, craft store money really is what it was. And I'm like, man, I've been a hustler since day one. I feel like
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I definitely was always had my hands in some sort of art or creating. I remember too, I was in my elementary school was a magnet school that specialized in math and science and in Southern California. So we got grant money from Apple. And I think I took my first Photoshop class in like 97.
Wow.
I know,
cool.
but like crazy to like get all the way through high school and then arrive at college and then be like, I'm on an undecided major. What do I want to do here? And then just thankfully found my art department and thankfully found graphic design because it was going against everything my parents were wanting for me, you know, like wanting to encourage me to go in other types of tech and things like that. And I just kind of stayed with it and was like, this is what I want to do. Like, cool, I'll be broke. I don't care.
For sure, yeah.
I'll be broke and having fun. So
Photoshop is tech in a lot of ways. I mean, to be able to understand
right?
it, it's a pretty insane with, you know, video software like Premiere Pro and all that stuff. It actually almost trains you in a tech way that you don't realize it as an artist.
Yeah.
It's really cool you said that you had a Photoshop class at what grade?
I was like 7 or 8.
That's insane because I was in the first Photoshop class that my school ever had, my high school ever had.
Wow.
Like,
really?
I helped create the curriculum actually
Yeah.
because
That's cool.
I pirated Photoshop
Yeah, right.
around that time.
Yeah, there
You know,
was.
like-
I took like a robotics class too. That was doing some sort of in elementary school. And looking back, I'm like, wow, that was sick.
That
Like
is
I'm so
awesome.
glad that I had that. Also, MySpace was a thing. Like
Mhm.
as I was coming into high school too. So I'm like me over here. You know, I'm like 12 doing HTML. Like so
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, because that's what MySpace was. Me and Marcus talk about that a lot.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
actually with MySpace, it was still like the Web 2.0 hadn't been created yet, and you still had to like you could customize your page using HTML.
right. I'm like,
you
we
wouldn't know how to
basically
write
were like
it. You would
little
just
web
copy
designer
it.
light. Yeah. I'm like, I've got like
Yeah.
butterflies flying through my little
Yeah.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
pink background.
Wow, so you're getting deep in it. Okay.
Vanessa Carlton music playing in the background. Like,
Making
yeah,
my way
man,
downtown.
I've been that girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had like my name scrolling down, like raining down my
Oh,
page
that's so
and
cool.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
fun.
MySpace
It's
is
like,
wild.
it was really
and then not
exciting.
like the hierarchy of your friends too. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
all right,
Top 8 or whatever.
no,
yeah.
really, Brittany
Yeah.
pissed me off this week. So
Oh,
Yeah, and
top 8.
that's kind of funny
Yeah.
because you were saying how like your dad was like, you need to get into some kind of tech, but like,
but I'm like, bro, I
tech
was
is
literally
actually-
doing it the whole time.
I've come to learn recently that tech is one of the most creative things you could do. Actually, like as someone who's grew up as like who identified themselves as an artist, you know, like all this stuff, and like tech is actually one of the most creative things you could do because I'm not saying the other things aren't super creative as well either, but I'm saying like it's combining different disciplines with the same way. I don't know. I just love it because you're designing.
Complete innovation, like
I mean,
creativity.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
You're
also to
designing
be
the
able to-
inside and the outside. Like if
Right.
you already know art, like if you can create products because I've been doing 3D printing stuff. It's like I can create now. I know like how to program, and now I know like a little bit about electrical mechanics and stuff like that. I can put that together and design how the inside works and the concept of how it actually can function in the real life. I designed that.
Right.
And then I can make it look like a teddy bear or something.
Yeah. Well, and that was the cool thing too that I discovered in college, because there was 2 different tracks in my school that you could take. One that was the BFA direction, Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Okay.
So in like visual comm, and then you could go like business information systems, which would be more like IT and more back end development.
Yeah, front end, back end, yeah.
And I realized quickly, I'm like, that ain't me, dog.
Yeah.
Like I can make a website look pretty, but I'm not the back end kind of person. Like, but in realizing, you know, in getting into the industry was like, no, both of those individuals are key in having them work side by side. Or, you know, if you can get yourself to learn a little bit of the other side, you know, then really it's kind of, you know, bringing the 2 things together, the left brain, right brain. But also it's, you know, to be doing some of those things, to creating something from nothing. I mean, you have to have some fundamental, you know, art background and you know, basic design skills, basic color theory, and those fundamentals. I'm so grateful for going the track of, you know, a BFA.
Yeah, that's what I started out doing.
Yeah, because it's like you learn more about like, well, yes, does it function, but like, is it aesthetically pleasing? Is it accessible?
Yeah.
You know, are the colors working well together? Can someone view this with a vision impairment? You know, like there's just so much into it, and yeah, it's just such an unfortunate thing of like our parents' generations of like the starving artist, you know, thing of like, it's just like, can we?
Well, back then they were just
they
were living in their times. Like we have had new job opportunities open up that they didn't have because of the internet. You know,
yeah,
like it's
exactly.
opened up a whole new world where it's not even feasible anymore to think that way.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about millennials too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, as much as I do love, you know, being involved in tech to some extent, and I do love, you know, the progression of social media. I'm an analog girl till I die. Like physical media is still like my thing, but I think that's just such a cool thing about millennials is that we saw it all, you know, like I had cassette tapes and I had, you know, and I got to see the transition to CDs, and I did have VHS and got to see the transition to DVDs and then floppy disks and whatever else. And then we followed tech through all of it, you know, and like we've arrived, leave us alone, you know, like,
It is unique, right? To kind of see both sides of like what was life before the internet, or like maybe 20 years from now, what was life before AI, right? Like there's big transitions that have happened in our lives, and we're still pretty young.
I'm 35. I've seen it all. Yeah.
So I'm the same. I'm 35, and it's the same thing for me. It's like, and I had older siblings who were 10 years older than me. So like they had the 8-tracks and like record players and stuff like that. And they shared that with me when I was young too. So it's just so crazy to think about, you know, if you think about tech on an exponential curve, and think about like when you started versus like when you're in your 90s or whenever you're towards the end of your life, like the differences, the glaring differences of what you experience and what you can comprehend is probably insane. Like I think about my grandpa before he passed, he was just like, I don't even know if you can imagine AI now. You know, this is before he passed, before it really took off. But I can't even imagine, because he was around in the 30s and like before freaking what's it called?
They were going
Snow White. Yeah.
They were going through their own technical revolution at that time too, because just literally their parents didn't have cars. Their parents didn't have electricity the way that they had it. So they were going through their own technological evolution to even think about AI, you know?
Or going from standard transmission to an automatic vehicle, or to having powered windows kind of thing. I mean, my great grandmother lived until she was 101. And I, R.I.P. Debbie, but I think about her all the time. I'm like, I just wonder at the end of her life cycle, she just was like, I am so tired. Like, I can't do any more new. Like when phones became a thing, like she was like, get that out of my face. What is that? But then I have my grandmother who's still alive, who's in her mid to late 70s. And she's got a TikTok account. I'm like, okay,
awesome. I would embrace it. I can imagine me being
she's
someone
really
that does
embraced
that.
it. And I love it, because I think that for her, she knows that like this is a way for me to connect with my grandkids. You know, like I've got to have a Facebook, because that's when I see, you know, like
Not
my
anymore.
granddaughter's posting, you know, I've got to see my granddaughter's posting about her dog or what's new in her life, and she follows my Instagram stories, and I'm like, so you know, like you don't necessarily. I guess it really just depends on the person. It's hard to generalize, you know, like an entire generation of people. It really comes down to the person and whether they want to commit to being a Luddite or not, you know, and grow with the transition of technology and stuff. But I
think things overlap too. Like people still draw, right? There's photos, and then people still draw portraits.
People still play chess. Actually, chess is more bigger
The
than
analog's not going anywhere, right? Like,
Yes.
I mean, I just recently acquired, do you remember like when the little TVs that had the VHS tape player
Oh,
in
yeah.
it, right? That was such a big deal
yeah.
to get for,
I love those,
for Christmas.
My sister got it. I didn't get it. but
Yeah, I recently acquired one, and so now I have an entire VHS collection
Oh,
because
that's
I'm like,
cool.
there's just something that's so
Yes.
nostalgic about it, and that's just so to have the physical media. It just feels different, and
In my 20s or my mid 20s, and I'm only 28, but I'm not just kidding.
No,
I'm
he's
not
kidding.
I went through a VHS phase. I would go to thrift stores and I had basically every VHS. You could tell which movies were the biggest movies because you would find like 20, 30 of them at every thrift store.
Yeah.
Independence Day was one of them. It was you'd see that everywhere, you know. But I
dude,
had a
I'm
whole wall
still
full
in
of
my
VHSs.
VHS tape era right now. Yeah, I have it in my
Yes.
kitchen, so like I'll pop it in when I'm making coffee in the morning.
Oh my
great, yeah.
gosh, I love
yeah,
it.
The thing is that they degrade. So those will get. Is your phone good?
yeah, I'm good.
Those will get, you know, like that the tape degrades over time compared to how like a solid state drive holds information. So
Well, the other
the
thing,
quality
too,
is
is,
gonna
like-
like in 50 years you might not even have those tapes anymore unless they
Right.
keep making new ones.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too about it is just like even like getting to see the previews again on like old Disney movies.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's
like,
a good point.
Like because you don't get that. Yeah, sure.
There's
I
a
can pull
vibe.
up any old movie. Like I can watch Shrek on Netflix, no problem. But like watching all the previews of all the other movies that were in theaters at the time, like I'm like, oh man, I remember this. I remember Shrek Ketchup. Like,
Yeah. Beethoven? Like what?
yeah.
Beethoven?
Oh, right? Like this is crazy. Yeah, there's something about it.
That's wild. Well, let's get back into Ren Creative and when you created it and like what the precipice was. I mean, it was before COVID, correct? That you created Ren Creative.
I created Ren Creative in 2017. I was still working for a PR agency at the time, and I was kind of on my way out. I knew I was like, all right,
But you hadn't done any entrepreneur thing before that?
I mean, I've always
Well,
had
I mean,
a
besides
side
the
hustle.
side,
Yeah, I've had a side hustle.
Had you gone full time?
Came out of the womb with a side
Yeah.
hustle. Yeah, no, I had not gone full time yet. No, so 2017, I was like 1 foot out the door. And then I actually ended up getting fired from that job because I was starting Ren Creative on the side.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, and I had a chip on my shoulder about it for a long time. And in hindsight now I look back and I just realized that, all those jobs that I had, they were all learning experiences and they were all just really just bringing me into alignment of where I am now. And so I don't really carry the chip on my shoulder anymore because I'm grateful to be where I'm at. But yeah, I started picking up clients on the side so that I could, kind of have a client pipeline because I'm like, it's terrifying to just jump out both feet, no life vest or anything. Just like, okay, I'm going to just see how this goes. No health bennies, no 401k. Like, wow.
It's funny you said life.
Really hope this works out for me.
Yeah. It's funny you said life jacket because when I first went full time, my mentor told me 30-day sink or swim challenge. So you said
and
no.
that's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I told myself, I was like, all right, January 1st, I'm going. So January 1st, 2018 was full time
Oh, wow.
for me. And I just told myself, I was like, well, I mean, so we get one client. Great, cool. So we pay rent this month. Then let's get another client and then we'll get another client. And then we're just going to see how that goes. And it's really, I've been so fortunate and have worked incredibly hard to get where I'm at now to where I'm just grateful that word of mouth keeps me going. And so, yeah, it's been a wild journey. And then, pandemic 2 years after that was like, I feel like I've mastered the art of the pivot. Not to use pandemic terms again, like it's very uncircumstances or what are they?
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented, yes. These are very unprecedented times. Turns out still unprecedented.
Yeah.
We're just, wading through it all. But I 2018 was awesome. And then it wasn't awesome.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot of personal stuff that I was like going through at the time too. That was it just kind of felt like, oh my gosh, like, am I doing the right? Like, do I need to stick with this? Like, and that was something that I really kind of, and I still try to juggle, in working for yourself is that you have to force yourself to take the time off. You have to force yourself to be like, hey, I need a mental health day or, like I need to be taking care of myself. And cause like, it's so easy to get caught up in, well, if I work 10 times as hard, I make 10 times as much money.
Right.
And it's like, yes, but sustainably, that's not necessarily in the best interest for nervous system. And I've learned that lesson pretty hard, and loud and clear after the pandemic. Like I really went so hard. And I'm kind of in this place now where I've slowed myself down quite a bit, which is incredibly hard to do as a person with my personality of just like wanting to just
Keep going.
grind. Yeah. But like, like my mental health was like, I couldn't sustainably keep doing it as hard as I was doing it now. So I'm kind of in like an evolutionary phase of Ren Creative at the time, at the moment, I should say, of figuring out, okay, how do we do this? And, maybe charge more, take less clients. So that's kind of where I'm at now. But, and then juggling personal stuff, right? Like, how do you there's like this authenticity thing too of working for yourself versus working for corporate. It's like, hey, like my dog died. I got to take a week off, clients, and like just being honest and saying like, I'm not doing my best work right now. Like I need to really focus on my life and my family. But it's hard to do when you're the sole source of income.
Yeah.
So you take that time off and it's like, well, I'm not making money to take this time off. And so instead it's like a restructuring of like, okay, we got to get really diligent about saving for the slow seasons, but then also saving for the time that you need to take off to take care of yourself is really, I feel like, a huge challenge for a lot of entrepreneurs I've found too, because you're so enmeshed.
A lot of creative entrepreneurs specifically, I think.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too, is like, it's hard monetizing creativity. It really is. Because it's art at the end of the day.
You almost feel bad about it sometimes too. I mean, I do sometimes. So I talked about that.
That is a problem of mine. I'm like, I start a new hobby and I'm like, how can I make money off of this?
Yeah,
I'm like,
me too.
stop it. I'm like, knock it off, girl. Like,
Every single time I feel
dude, just have a freaking hobby, man. Like, God.
That 3D print right there. I got into 3D print. And
you're like, wow, I could sell these.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
stop. Just like chill for 5 minutes. Yeah, that's me. And it's so hard because it's like, how do you separate the two? But it's, making art is still art making, but just trying to not monetize everything. But then that's the thing too, like if you're just so burnt all the time or just pushing yourself to no end, it's like, am I putting out good work? Am I giving my clients like the best version of myself? Or is this, if I had more time to decompress, or if I had more time to take care of myself, would I be putting out better? Yes. The answer is yes. So, but learning how to juggle that and being okay, like taking a back seat, is, I would say,
also not just be
challenge.
It's also hard to not be so hard on yourself is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Give yourself some grace.
Yeah. Really,
It's
really
easy to
hard
get
to
caught
tell
up in all that
someone like
stuff.
myself that.
Yeah. And I'm saying that to myself essentially at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Do you know
Talking
who Jesse Itzler is? Do you know he's married to Sarah Blakely, who owns Spanx. I don't know if you know who Sarah Blakely is.
Okay.
She's like a super.
Yeah.
She's a
Well,
billionaire.
he's also a badass in of himself too.
Yeah, Jesse Itzler he's a billionaire all on his own too as well. But with him and his wife, so they're both billionaires, married, like super couple,
Separately billionaires,
power couple, like crazy. At the end of every year in December, even in January time, they'll make their calendar for 2026 or whatever the year is going to be. But they only do it for like the personal stuff that they absolutely want to do for that year. And that way, because they're just like us, where work is part of their identity, it doesn't get in the
like
way.
A billionaire is just like us.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. But they're busy, and so they do all their personal stuff, and it's still in their calendar. And then because people like us, it's like, well, I'm just gonna keep working, and everything's gotta get out of its way. Exactly. There's no excuses then.
I don't really have time to take a vacation right now. I just onboarded 7 clients, and it's like, girl, take the vacation. Like go.
It's so important, right? Because then you come back refreshed. If you're anything like me, like I hate the first 2 or 3 days on vacation because I'm like I'm missing so much crap.
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's.
But then I
hard.
sit into it, and I'm like,
You're more
okay, like I
stressed
needed
than
this.
relaxed.
Yes, because I'm like, what's going on? Then I got to a point where I had like people working for me, and I was able to like really. Even then, it was still a little stressful. But after years and years and years of building good people, then I'm like, I don't need to worry about it. So and so's got this. Like he'll tell me if there's any big issues, and it was finally able to be built to that level. But yeah, I get it. But it takes time to be able to do that, right?
Yeah. And just, I mean, and again, too, like you have to realistically, like what the economy is changing. Like you have to adapt to so many different things. It's not even like, yeah, okay, I've been doing this for 8-9 years, but 5 of that was in a pandemic and a post-pandemic economic crisis, So it's like while you think that you're getting the footing and you think that you're really getting on top of things and like, oh, I figured stuff out. It's like, nah, now you have to figure out how to do it with like all of this other stuff happening around you too.
Totally.
And then also not to lose a sense of self and like still be able to say like, you know, despite everything that's going on, like this is still the ethos of the work that I'm doing and the people that I want to work with. And like at the end of the day, like this is the work that I want to do. And then pivoting, you know, and like, and still staying true to what you do at your core, but dang.
It's a lot.
Dang. Yeah, for real.
I'm gonna pause you for a second. I just noticed your mic's kind of a little far. Is her audio still sounding good?
Oh, it's far.
Yeah, we'll just push it a little closer.
Me?
It probably was good.
I'm
but
probably also like wiggling around a lot. So
yeah, my thing is just you don't notice it because you tune it out, but there's that big ass fan in the background, and the closer the better. I make it sound good
'Kay.
regardless. But,
hello,
yeah.
here I am.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get lip gloss on here.
Deep voices.
Yeah.
We good to go?
Good. Okay.
Sweet.
Cool.
Awesome.
It's also like to think about like for me lately, like I know like I get so in the weeds of my business sometimes. I get too serious about my business that I gotta remember to have fun.
Yeah.
And like I forget that sometimes. And I'm like, dude, who am I? Like I want to enjoy my time and have fun. That's like I love when we sit up for the show because I get to like kid around and BS with the guys. And I'm like, okay, I'm having fun with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget that because I'm too serious about
know.
doing my best or being my best or delivering the best for my clients. It's like, dude, we gotta have fun.
Yeah.
That brings so much more out of us in our performance if we're just having fun with what we're doing. You know?
Absolutely. I think too, like, and just me like learning, like, I feel like really early on, there's this like feast or famine kind of like in starting a business.
Absolutely.
It's like, you're saying yes to everything. I'm taking every client that, you know, comes through my door. But again, like that's just kind of comes with, you know, entrepreneurship in general, like starting a new business. I'm like, yeah, of course you're going to do that. Like, and then it's like, now I'm to a point now where I take the clients that I'm excited about and that I'm passionate about. And then that just makes my work, I just feel like my work is so much better when I'm like really invested or I'm having fun with it too, you know, like, and I'm not just taking stuff just to take it or,
And it's
or
easier to
fill
have
my
fun when you're
workload.
not in famine mode.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. yeah, right.
So true. We'll talk about, and you kind of already been mentioning it, but like hustle culture versus like, you know, just working on your business. I know so many young people out there, like, you know, that maybe they're in their 20s. They're like, I can work forever. I don't have a family. I don't have whatever, a partner, spouse, anything like that. But like, that can't be sustainable forever for these people. And sometimes it's not what's best for you. So it's like, talk about that a little bit more, because I think that's a really good point you brought up.
Yeah. And I feel like I was saying, I mean, I've been hustling since I was a kid. Like, I feel like just my parents were always hustlers. Like, I just, you know, also just kind of living in the capitalism, you know, it's just kind of, you're really kind of forced to just work really hard, you know, to get anywhere in life. And I feel like in starting a new business, it's really easy to have that set as your baseline. But again, like, and I think I have talked about it a little bit, but it's not sustainable. And it's hard to not glorify the hustle. Because I feel like I did a lot of that when I first started my business. I'm like, hell yeah, all I do is work. You know, like I had no time off, work, another side hustle, another side hustle, and another one. You know,
that was
what?
kind of the vibe of 2018, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that was the vibe.
And for me too, I just was like, I knew what I wanted. I knew a lifestyle that I wanted to have that I'd never had before. And I knew that if I was going to get there, that I did have to hustle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did have to like make a lot of sacrifices and not have a lot of free time and work a lot of night jobs and like whatever. But I got so used to it as my norm that, you know, by the time pandemic happened, I was burnt the fuck out. Like, am I past my 7 minutes? Can I cuss yet?
We're going to take a quick break to thank our sponsors.
Rain Tech.
Rain Tech is a trusted IT partner that keeps your business running smoothly.
From cybersecurity to cloud solutions and data recovery, they've got your back so you can focus on what you do best.
Learn more at rain.tech. That's RAIN.tech.
Savion HQ. Is your back office chaos? Are you buried in HR, payroll, and financial guesswork?
Your passion shouldn't be a prison. Savion HQ is your fractional back office partner. We merge HR, payroll, accounting, and tax to bring order to the chaos and make your passion profitable again.
Stop the bleed, get your freedom back. Find us at savionhq.com or email at hello@savionhq.com.
Data Hubs is a compliance intelligence and orchestration platform that helps organizations meet the requirements of frameworks like ISO 27001, SOC2, CMMC, HIPAA, GDPR, and more.
Data Hubs gives small and mid-sized businesses a premium compliance experience while cutting down the time, cost, and stress it usually takes to get across the finish line. Learn more at datahubs.com. That's datahubz.com.
Reveal Med Spa. Look and feel your best at Reveal Med Spas. With personalized plans that deliver real results, radiant skin, restored confidence, and natural rejuvenation.
At Reveal Med Spa, we see you more than just aesthetic and wellness treatments. We provide a safe, judgment-free space where you feel valued, heard, and supported.
Visit revealmedspas.com.
I think it is literally just that too. We'll just double check. Book your next session at revealmedspas.com. That's revealmedspas.com. Awesome Home Services. Awesome Home Services delivers top-notch HVAC solutions for your home. Whether you need heating, cooling, or system maintenance, they ensure your comfort year-round. Visit awesomeservice.com for your HVAC needs. That's awesomeservice.com.
Dream Accounting Solutions. Take the stress out of managing your books with Dream Accounting Solutions. They provide reliable expert accounting services tailored to small businesses. Simplify your finances at dreamaccountingsolutions.com. That's dreamaccountingsolutions.com. Exponential Impact.
Exponential Impact is driving innovation and entrepreneurial success in Colorado Springs. Supporting startups with mentorship, funding, and community resources, they help businesses grow and thrive. Learn more about their impact at exponentialimpact.com. That's exponentialimpact.com.
And now let's get back to the show.
I was burnt the fuck out, man. Like oh my God, I did not stop. Everybody was, going to work from home at that point. I was like, no, all my people need me. This is not a time for me to rest. This is not a time for me to settle. And I just kind of stayed in that hustle for so long. And then I came out of it and my therapist was like, hun, like if you don't slow down, like you're going to give yourself an autoimmune disorder. Like you're going to get really sick. Like you got to cool it. You got to figure out how to do this in a maintainable way, a sustainable way, and a way that like where you can still take care of yourself too. Like there was a lot of like abandonment of self in order to like serve my clients. And while yes, I do think that, prioritizing my clients is important, I do think that like, present day me that's really been, can look back on the last 8-9 years is like, okay, so now like, let's settle into this new phase of like, let's not glorify the hustle because we shouldn't have to abandon a sense of self in order to be entrepreneurs, like in order to be business owners. I mean, we can, it's about a balance of it and trying to find that. And it's hard. I struggle with it all the time. Like I feel guilty taking a mental health day. Like I'm like, you know what? Today is not it. Like I did not take my ADHD meds. I am not locked in on anything. I'm overwhelmed by what's happening in the world. Like I can't. And it's like, why am I trying to force myself to, girl, take the day, like take a walk, touch some grass. And so I do think that I've kind of removed myself from really making it seem as if like the hustle is all that life's about. And while yes, it is important, I do think that like taking care of yourself is, how am I supposed to show up for my clients if I'm not showing up for myself first? So that's kind of like where I've gotten present day, and it's hard. It really is to do it and get into a practice and a new routine of it when you've been so used to a certain factory setting for most of your life, but I'm trying.
That's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. And like, not only on top of all that, like on the business side, but like personal things happen and come up all the time.
Right.
Like life happens and it's so tough when you're running your own business because like one, you're burned out. 2, personal things in your life can happen that can really just take life in a whole nother direction. And you somehow have to hold everything together and make sure this boat doesn't sink when you feel like the whole world around you is like crashing and burning.
Oh, felt that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 2025 for me. I feel like 2018 was a really bad like personal year for me. But then also was the first year I started my business and was like, oh my God, can I catch a break?
Did you start it
I
before
catch a-
bad things were happening or after bad things were happening?
Before.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I started, and I've got a whole like what a like woohoo kind of stuff that I could really go into on that. But I just feel like truly like when you're on your path to where you're supposed to be, there's always going to be shit that derails you, or people, or just bad energy, or just stuff that's like going to constantly like pull you away from the direction where you're supposed to be going, and it's hard, especially I was 28 at the time. I didn't know any better. And yeah, I had some deaths and a lot of grief happen. And how do I juggle this heavy thing that I'm carrying around while also I'm, the sole breadwinner in my life right now? I can't really like take like sick leave. I can't really take bereavement leave. Like I gotta power through this. But then it kind of also teaches you that to live in this flight or fight mode too, which is not good for nervous system stuff. And
Totally.
yeah, and I feel like I had, kind of another cycle of that this past year too, of just, and the ending of my marriage, the loss of another business, the loss of a pet. I'm like, okay, all right, can I catch a break? But then also there's another part of me that's like, okay, maybe we're about to have like a badass 2026. Like maybe that's what I could look forward to, but it is hard to navigate all of it too. But I think just like remaining just as authentic as possible when you're showing up for yourself and your work. Like I'm a real person at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to put on some production or some show. Like if I need to call out or tell my clients like, hey dog, it's going to take me another week to get this project out. Like my clients are pretty cool and understanding of that too, because yeah, we're all going through our own stuff. But yeah, not to be a Debbie Downer.
No, it's important. It's like super important, because if you think about like everything in life, people go through things, and like oftentimes like that's where the wisdom really comes from. It's like we had to go through the things that we went through in our own lives to get where we are today. And
Yeah,
like I
for
pull all
sure.
my wisdom from like the shit times of my life.
I'm
And I've
telling
had a
ya.
lot of crazy shit times in my
Yeah.
life, and I'm like, it was awful. It's not that I wish it, like, of course, like I've lost people and all the things in my life too, but like I've pulled a lot of wisdom out of that situation that helps me propel my life forward, or just when someone's going through a similar situation like that, to know and understand and be there for them and say the
Yeah.
right things when they're going through that
And
stuff.
that too, yeah. Like I mean, I've come out of a lot of stuff, and I'm one tough bitch for sure.
Mhm.
And I still try to maintain the softness, but like like if you've been through it, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like, I have an understanding of how to carry that when my clients are experiencing some level of stress,
Mhm.
or for me, it's like I remember what it was like starting a business for the first time, and I remember what it was like to juggle all that, and so I really carry that into a lot of folks come to me and they're starting a new business.
Because they're getting a logo, right?
Right. Yeah. They come to me, they are scared. They're like, but excited, like they're like, I've been told that you're the best person to come to through this, but I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I don't even have a name. I don't have a bank account for the business. And it's like, whoa, but this is so fun. Like, this is my shit. Let's go.
Mhm.
Like, but to know that you are meant to do something and that you just need the right facilitator to help you get there is so exciting for me. That's what makes me just excited and wake up for my job every single day is I'm like, yeah, I know where you're at. So just deep breath, like you're meant to be doing this, and let's do it together. And I feel like it allows me to do my job.
Incredible.
In a really authentic way, which is just, that's all I really care about,
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about branding, normally you think about like the big corporations that come in and like, oh yeah, I'm branding. But like when you think of like startup or like people starting their own business, that seems out of reach for them, because they're like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, I don't have the money. Like I'm bootstrapping this. I'll make something on clip art, throw it up, and I'm ready to go. But like for some reason, you have been able to bridge that gap
Yeah.
from like your experience in like the bigger companies
Mhm.
and bring that to like the little guy in the small
Mhm.
business world. Why is
Yeah.
that so important for you
Yeah.
to do?
And those are my people. I feel like, I had a lot of folks, when I decided to do Ren Creative, like, how come you don't just go like move to New York and get a big agency job? And I'm like, that's not where my heart's at, like and then after being here for as many years, I'm like, this community needs me. And there is a void that needs to be filled, and a point of access to where, good quality branding and logos, and someone that you could trust with something as personal as a baby business, is that's, it's important to find the right person for that. And they deserve to have access to that as well as anybody, and even if you don't have, millions of dollars to throw at a huge brand campaign. I mean, that's not me anyway. So there's an accessibility part of things too. For me, it's like, I'll work with my clients on a payment plan. Like, I understand, like, I've been here. I've started a business with absolutely nothing in my pocket and no life jacket, like I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it feels like. But I also know what it feels like to be like, I have got this guttural need to do this thing. And like, what a cool thing, to be a part of. And so, so that I really have just felt that that's where I'm needed the most is the little guys, the small businesses. And it's been a joy to be able to work with so many different types of, that's the cool thing too, is that like, like if you think about the vast array of businesses I've got clients that are doctor's offices. I've got clients who are restaurants or bars or yoga studios or dental offices or lash artists or nail techs. Like, everybody has some sort of online presence to some extent. And I think too, that's where my creativity doesn't really get super stagnant because I'm not working in like only can packaging, like that's the thing too about being an in-house designer is like, sometimes it's like, oh my God, I got another pitch deck, like another pitch slide that I have to do. And it's so exciting that I can work with so many different types of businesses too. And they're real people at the, it feels good. For me, it feels really good. It's like, this is someone who's starting a business so that they could create generational wealth, so that then maybe their kids could acquire this business someday. And that's so cool to have even just like a little bit of an impact on that.
I mean, that's where we met you, was at the Brit Pub doing the photography for their opening night. And I know a lot of their like menu photography you're doing as well. And you did such a great job on the photos.
Thank
and
you.
you haven't even talked about like the moment you picked up a camera, but
that
was like the moment I wanted to ask you because my girlfriend's a photographer, Andrew's a photographer, Edgar a photographer, like a lot of photographers. I had a camera for a little while too. Like, when was that moment for you? Because you're extraordinary.
I've been taking pictures since I was a little kid. Same thing. I feel like it's just the creativity was in me in so many different ways. Coloring, drawing, painting, cross stitching, taking photos with cameras and Polaroids and film cameras. And I took I went to high school in a very rural town in Arizona. But they had at the time, and it kills me now that I think that they've got rid of a lot of the like extracurricular type stuff in a lot of high schools. But they had, culinary classes, carpentry classes, darkroom photography. And I just was like, as many as I could take in a year, I was taking all of them.
Wow.
And I started taking darkroom photography classes in high school. And I was like, this is my jam. And then my uncle was the chief photographer for Texas Parks and Wildlife when I was little. Well, I think he just retired recently, actually. And so he was a good connection for me too when I was just learning how to take photos.
Great gig.
I mean, right?
For a photographer?
To be fair, I learned really early on, like he is a nature photographer and a nature photographer and a portrait photographer.
Absolutely. Two different things.
Totally different people, two different archetypes, two totally different realms.
Two different tech sets.
Really, like your kit is completely different. But I still learned a lot of fundamentals from him. And so then when I got to college, that was one of the side hustles, is that I didn't have a camera at the time or a car even in college. So I joined the newspaper team in college so that I could get access to all of their equipment and their gear and their computers. And so then I had a camera on me at all times because I would go shoot the football games on Friday, but then I would shoot someone's engagement pictures on Saturday, and then I'd have class on Monday. I just was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I dig this. And then when I graduated, really went the design direction. But kind of always took photos a little bit on the side. But then when I started Ren Creative, told myself, all right, well, if design can't pay all the bills, then maybe we could backfill with photography. And what I actually discovered is that all of my skill set really bring the holistic approach to what I do is, and I love getting to be a part of the whole process versus, coming into a project and I'm only doing the branding and somebody else is doing the website or somebody else is doing the photos. my favorite work to do is the client that hires me to do all of it.
Yeah.
Because then I do feel like I can really represent the brand
Yeah.
fully
Mhm.
throughout the whole process. And that's what I do a lot of now is, a client comes to me as a startup and they're like, well, obviously I need a logo, I need a social presence, I need photos for my website. I don't have any headshots. I don't have a website at all, nor do I know how to do one. And it's like, don't worry about it. I do it all, baby. So that's my most fun work truly, is getting to do all of it. And I really didn't think that I could bring photography into what I was doing with design until I got to these problems that I'd have to solve for clients who I'd finish a brand project and they'd go, do you know anybody that does this? And I'm like, well, I mean, I could do that. I don't see why not. And then it kind of got me to where I am now. And it's like, yeah, this all really works well together. And then it's kind of gotten me in some other directions of like, I really enjoy food photography a lot, so much.
I've seen it in your work. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. And I think a lot of that just comes from my hospitality background too. Like having been growing up in restaurants, as a server, and then them realizing, oh, she's a graphic designer too. Let's throw her on the marketing stuff instead, and getting to see kind of the back end of how, to market and promote a business like that. And then the evolution of social media is now like, well, we need photos of the food. And it's, evolved from like just crappy cell phone pictures to like, people are doing some cool shit out there. And I'm like, I want my hands in that. Like, and I want to be a part of that. And I really enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's where kind of Britpub came into play too, is really it was my connections through the Independent got me the job at Britpub. Because my old publisher now works at the Downtown Partnership and knows Nova really well, and small town stuff really works in my favor quite a bit. But yeah, that's kind of how all that came to be. And I love taking photos so much. And I do think too, for like burnout, it's really good for me to be able to bounce between the different sides of my brain of like, if I'm working on a project and I've hit, I don't know what to do with this logo. I'm like, it's okay. Let's edit a gallery instead. So I'll, bounce over there. And while I'm over there, my brain is still kind of processing like what to do and how to solve this thing. And then I can bounce back over. And people talk a lot of shit about being ADD, right? And I'm like, but it truly makes me, I don't think I could do my job if my brain wasn't this way.
Right.
Like if I wasn't able to do 27 things at once, maybe my issue is that sometimes I don't finish them all. But I can bounce between things, and like I, can put this away for a second, do this thing, come back to it. But my brain is still processing this other thing that I'm working on. So that is kind of a nice thing. And I don't ever get bored, truly, as I taking pictures or designing, or now I'm working on a website today, yeah.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I'm in marketing, so I love this stuff. And I worked at agencies before too, so I know how important this is. But like when I think about small businesses, like the one thing that they'll always ask, and it's a stupid question, but it's like a layman's question of like, why is branding important? I kind of want you to break that down for folks, because it's like people can go like, oh, well, I can make a logo and throw up some social media channels.
I can ChatGPT a logo.
I can GPT a lot of this stuff or whatever it might be, but like,
don't get me on my AI ChatGPT soapbox, please. I understand that those things exist to fill a need. And I think it's a lack of education in knowing certain things, right? Like if you're an entrepreneur starting a business, whatever the business is, let's just say restaurant, you know how to run a restaurant, you know how to work your numbers, you know how to get those costs down to where you can do this effectively. That is what you're talented at. Do you want to design your own logo? Like, is that the thing that you want to do? Like, it's like knowing where you're in your wheelhouse and when you need to outsource something to someone else, it's like, and I think a lot of folks, can kind of go one direction or another of like, I could just DIY this myself. Chat GPT, or I can go do a Fiverr logo, or I could do, pay, my friend's, nephew is in school for graphic design. And it's like, okay, so hold up. Yes, all of these are things that you could do. But you're starting a business. Like this is going to be something that you want to grow into, that is going to be your main source of income. Like, do you want some teenage kid like working on your car? Like, like on the inner workings of your business? Like, do you want to really like cheaply do this thing that is such a foundational part of starting a business, right? Like, it is who you are. It's your ethos. It's how you're seen in the public. It's how it's the first impression people get of you is your logo and your brand and your business name. All those three things. And then from there, it kind of goes into like, then it's, social media presence, website presence. And truthfully, in this day and age, I mean, people are going to do a Google search, if they're hiring someone, depending on what it is that you do. Like maybe you're an electrician, they're going to Google electrician, Colorado Springs. And from a marketing standpoint too, you're right. You're going to maybe instinctually go to the person who's got a presence, who's got 6,000 great reviews on Google because, they've gone to someone that said, hey, like this is an important thing for you to care about. And branding is just the same way too. But really it's because it's such a foundational thing. It's like without a good logo and without a good set of colors and without you knowing what your mission is and your voice, how are you going to have a social presence? Because then you get there and you've got no toolkit. And then you have to go from there to, well, I need to have a website. Okay, well, do you have a logo? Do you have colors? Do you know what your mission is? Do you know what your tone is, your voice, who you are? Well, no, I don't need all that. And it's like, okay, but really you you do, because that it's just your toolkit of who your business is going to be. And it makes it so much easier for then, when you're hiring people and you've got interns, like if you just throw some logo at some kid that is doing your social media, who knows what 27, 30, bajillion fonts they're going to choose and wacky colors and rainbows and like whatever's going on. And it's like, but if you had, a brand kit and a brand manual that was basically gives parameters of what you can and cannot do, visually, aesthetically, like, no, we don't talk like this on social media. We talk like this because we are a restaurant. We're not a doctor's office, or, there's those things are really important because all those businesses are all so different. Like you can't just copy paste it into someone else, even if you were to line up 6 different doctors together, they all have their different touch. They all have their different niche. They all have their different, angle, their brand vision, or maybe even their ideal clientele that they want to reach. And so I think it's really like an education thing, and once I break that down for most people, like in an initial consultation, they're like, oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah, there's certain industry
I understand.
vibes.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I seen a construction company with a logo that looks like they're a university,
Right.
So it's like it's
and so
kind of
Off brand kind of.
well,
it probably works for them. I mean, they probably have a good sales team. Like, I don't know, but like it just felt.
I'm gonna get on a soapbox really
Yes,
quick.
please do. This is important.
It's like
yeah.
I feel like I get it's a mixed bag, right? Like I get people who come to me that know the value, that understand the value, and that's how they've found me, or that's how they've come to me because they know, hey, I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I've been told that you can help get me there. And I have some processes in play on how I get people to really discovering what it is that they want. Because a lot of times they come to me and they don't know. They have an idea, but they don't know how to articulate that. They don't know how to ask me for that, which is okay because I have processes to get them there. But I always reference Portlandia and how there was that episode about put a bird on it. Put a bird on it, put a bird on it, put a bird on it. And I always say that anytime I get a client who comes to me and is like, I want to call my business Pikes Peak something. I want to put a mountain on it. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, all right. How can I get you to not do that? Because I'm going to do one Google search really quick that's going to have Pikes Peak in it. And I want you to go to the 19th page, which is where your business is going to wind up most likely on a search engine. And then I want you to still make the argument to me that that's what you should name your business. And then why? And then, okay, so you want to put a mountain on it? Okay, cool. I'm going to pull up 27 businesses just in this, area
Square mile
that have mountains in their logos. And I want you to tell me how you think you could do that and stand out against those. And it's usually the subject is like, it's like, we've tabled that and we've moved on. And I think that that's important for me because it's a regional thing, right? For us, it's like you go anywhere, like small town, like you're from Kansas, right?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City. So I'm sure that there's like a lot of, it's really everywhere. You know, it's like I'm sure there's a lot of like Royals colors that people like
Oh yeah, so
want to throw that into a business.
everyone wants
and,
to label their business Royal Gutters or what Royal this,
Yep.
Royal
Oh,
that.
yeah, there you go.
Because of the Royals.
Yep, yeah.
You're
Or
on
like-
point with that.
yeah, or like, and, you know, even it's just very regional based on where you're at. And so I'm very aware of that as a designer of like, I don't want to create this oversaturation of like everyone has the same name. You know, like I see construction vehicles going past me all the time, and it's like, there's another, you know, Rocky Mountain this, and another Pikes Peak that, and another, you know, Springs this. And
So you're probably happy about Awesome Home Services, which is a sponsor of the show.
yeah.
Because have you
Good
seen
point.
their
Although if
yeah.
they were in Austin,
Yeah.
I would be like, hey guys.
They have a lot of awesome things there.
Oh, is it awesome, or
yeah.
Austin?
Awesome Home Services, yes.
Oh, I thought you said Austin.
So Awesome Home Services,
Awesome Home
You've
Services,
probably
yes.
they have really decent branding, I think, in the way that they stand out. They've done a good job, basically a good case study of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They've only
I'll
been
have to
around
look
for
them
like
up,
2
yeah.
years, but like now that I've said it, you're gonna have the Baader-Meinhof effect, which is frequency bias. Now you're
I'm
gonna
gonna see it everywhere.
You're gonna see it
Everywhere.
everywhere,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
On
for
your
sure.
drive on your drive tomorrow somewhere, you're gonna see it. So
And then I'm gonna
they're
go,
everywhere.
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they don't have Pikes Peak.
And
they don't
that's
have
why
this.
good
Yeah.
branding is important.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they hit the ground running. They had a whole good team like all together. Like it's insane. But like yeah, so that's a good case study for what you're talking about. Is what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like a favorite brand that you have that you're like, man, like that's a brand that you can like show your clients and you're like, okay, we get it now because that's an exceptional brand that stands out. And like when you think of that brand, you know, these things come to mind for that brand.
Like of my work.
Anybody, any
Locally
brand
here
ever.
in Colorado Springs,
yeah,
actually.
locally.
Oh, like
or,
not even my work necessarily.
Sure.
Yes.
Oh God. I don't know how you. I don't know how to narrow that down. You know what I will do? Actually, I will plug some of my other design friends. Because what I love about the local design community is I can recognize everybody's work. Like I know who did that.
Yes.
And my friends over at Fixer Creative, I can always recognize Troy's mark on things. But they did some really cool stuff with Kinship Landing. And I just feel like the way that they went about, and it's all so beautiful. Have you been into Kinship?
Oh yeah, I was just going to mention them.
It's all so
We went into the
beautiful. Their
opening, actually.
wayfinding is beautiful, down to like the menu, down to like all their little logo marks that they have kind of like snuck in through the brand and in the rooms and in the restaurant. And then they've also kind of sub-branded the restaurant into the building itself. Like it's very well, beautifully as a
Did you guys
as a
provide all
local
their
plug.
plants?
I'm sorry?
They have a lot of plants there. Is that you guys?
No, that wasn't. No, that they did want to work with us at some point. But no, I think that they've got somebody else that does those.
They might have
Yeah.
their own green room if I remember. I don't know.
Yeah, they do have an atrium that they rent out for private events, I know, but they had a lady, I think she was called the Plant Lady. I'm not sure who does this. I
Okay,
don't want
yeah.
to put like a wrong name in there, but I think it was a woman named the Plant Lady that
Okay.
was doing their stuff for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You said shout out to other designers in town. It's funny. Do you ever get confused with the Lauren from Neon Pig?
I don't think we get confused.
Okay, because you guys are both Laurens.
Yeah, we are both Laurens.
You go by Ren, though,
We're
right?
quite a yes and no. Friends, depending on what circle or how you've met me, I guess
For sure.
is how you would refer to me. A lot of people know me as Lar, but some people do call me Ren. I've got a slew of nicknames. But yeah, no, Lauren and I, we and Neon Pig, they're all so great over there. I love them so much. But I don't think that we've been confused. Maybe we have.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to call her and be like, yo.
What if you guys are getting each other's business on accident?
Yeah. Well, you know, we all compete on a lot of, sometimes on jobs.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll even call each other to be like, I'm like, hey, like, are you bidding on this?
Yeah.
Do you align with this client more than I do? And if the answer is yes, then it's like, all right, then I might step down from like doing a bid on this, because really at the end of the day, it's like the client is the most important. And if there's alignment there, like I'm not going to try and, go after some other work if it's a good fit for them, but that happens quite a bit.
For sure.
It's
Yeah,
small town stuff. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I was doing
Yeah.
a video project, and they had their logo just done, and I can't remember if it was either you or the other Lauren. That's what I said. I confused you guys.
Yeah.
I think it was Neon Pig who made it, because I had all the Google Drives with all the different, like, the basic logo, and then the black one, the white one, and all this stuff. And I had all the files for what I needed for my video editing project. But I think it was Neon Pig actually. But
yeah, it might have been.
yeah.
Well, it's funny when I work with a lot of vendors in town too. Like I do a lot of work with Creative Consortium. I don't know if you
Oh, yeah.
know
Oh,
Sam
I
over
used to
there.
build our signs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Sam's awesome. We love Sam. But Sam's so funny because even his design team over there is familiar with my work and all the other design agencies.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then I'll get a phone call that's like, "Hey, it looks like your work. I'm pretty sure it's your work. My design team is convinced that it's your work. Are you working with this client? Because they just called us." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yep,
yeah.
that's me." We're like, "Okay, we're pretty sure. It looked like your files.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like your kind of overall style. So it's kind of fun too
Well,
to
the
be able
client was
to."
Melanie Hicks. If she's not your client, then it was Neon
Yeah,
Pig.
then that was
Okay,
probably Neon
so-
Pig. Yeah. Yeah.
They used to be at where the Meanwhile block it was.
Yeah, that was their original location.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Their new location's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Have you been?
So no,
Oh,
but
you
they
should
were
go
a
get
big
a
partner
tour.
when they used to do my t-shirts too. They don't do t-shirts for a long
Creative
time.
Consortium.
Yeah,
They
Creative
do
Consortium.
now.
Oh, they do again now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
amazing.
you should go see their new facility. Get a tour. It looks really cool over there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Let's get
and
them
they
all on
do
the
have
show.
someone doing textile again. Yeah, Sam would love that. You
Mhm.
should. Yeah. His brain is wild. You
Oh,
should
then I love
totally
it.
get him
Yes,
on the
let's do
podcast.
it.
His brain is crazy. Yeah. He's so knowledgeable and
Yeah.
such a cool guy.
Crazy in a
Yeah.
good way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things that he like thinks about with signage and like his knowledge
Yeah.
base of like how to like back channel light something and how to do it with like ethically sourced materials. Like it's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, you should totally get him on
I
the
went
podcast.
like there like 10 years ago because they were working with me for like 10 years. And like
Mhm.
they were doing like a whole like Mercedes Sprinter wrap
Mhm.
thing. And I think they were doing like conversion or something at the same time. I'm like, man, they're doing like everything in this shop. This is
Yeah,
nuts.
it was cool. I was doing I did a campaign working for the city during the pandemic, like encouraging getting vaccinated, and so the city hired me to brand the whole campaign, which would then get wrapped on all the city buses, which was a really cool project to
Yeah,
be on.
that's
But
fun.
then it was like. Then it got passed over to Sam, and then Sam was doing like wrapping the
The
bus.
actual wrap.
I'm like, this is so cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
I wonder if you know my landlord. He's a graphic designer as well too. Trevor Kincaid.
Oh yeah, I know Trevor.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I
Trevor's
know
awesome.
Trevor. Is it where he's like in Spain or something right now?
Well,
Or where's he living?
he's doing something in South America.
Yeah.
Last year he was in Asia. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trevor's a badass. He's a great designer.
Yeah, he just did Alexandria Brewery. He redid their logo.
Where's that?
I don't even know if it's local, but he's from Arizona as well too, which is
Mhm.
kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to because there's the local AIGA chapter. I was on the board for a
that's what he-
while.
mhm.
Yeah, so we all kind of like run in that same group, same kind
Yeah.
of
So you know
networking thing.
Angelica.
Mhm.
I always
Pecoraro.
yeah. I always read that name as Angelica. My brain is weird.
Angelina Pecoraro.
Yeah.
Mhm. I hope I pronounced it correctly, girl. Girl, I'm sorry if I didn't. Love ya.
I think she was actually like she was one of the first 15 episodes, and we recorded her episode at the Pikes Perk downtown when it was still open.
Aw,
and
I
right
miss
bef-
that.
like
love
the
that
month
spot,
before
man.
COVID happened and hit.
I
Like it was so
know.
cool. Like
Yeah. That's so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a small design community, and I love that everybody's.
And I'm a
just-
logo designer as well too.
Yeah. I mean, there's room for all of us.
Yeah.
You know, like there's absolutely room for all of us.
Mhm. And I know what you mean when it comes to like building the website because I've been working with a cannabis company recently, and they have so many different projects that they do, like with other different like rebrands that they do, and so I get to prop up their entire website, their entire socials, their entire like logo, brand design.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's
I want
pretty
to.
cool.
I want to get into that industry a little bit more. I had like a little bit of a foot in like years ago doing some photography for Strawberry Fields, and
Oh
then
yeah,
I
I
think
did
they
photography too. Yeah.
did you? Yeah, and I think they
Not
sold
there,
to
but yeah.
somebody else. But God, I would love to get back into.
They gotten big too, right?
love to
Strawberry
get-
Fields. Like,
Dude,
Yeah, well, they sold, I think.
Oh,
But yeah,
interesting.
then they franchised. They're all over the place.
interesting.
Yeah.
do you guys know the Beatles song? That was the first dispensary I went to in Colorado when I first came here.
With Strawberry Fields?
And there's a Beatles song called Strawberry Fields in Heaven, and I would always say Strawberry Fields in Pueblo. And that was always every time I was driving there. That's all I was thinking.
Yeah. It's almost the same.
Yeah, exactly.
But not really.
And it was just a fun little. That was just a side note.
Yeah.
So, what's next for you? Obviously, you are in year 8 of your business.
8 or
and
9. I don't even know.
8 or 9
I don't know.
into your
What's the
business.
years
So,
on that?
gosh, you've been in the business for quite a long time now.
Mhm.
Like, you're kind of talking about like this might be a year of like pivoting and kind of just restructuring maybe pricing. But
Mhm.
like, what's next for you this year?
Yeah, fun. You should ask that. I am doing a little bit of a pivot. Ren Creative is not going anywhere, but I am studying to get certified to become a loan originator to do residential home loans. So I'll be doing a little bit of that on the side, chasing after some health bennies.
Yeah.
and some 401k and a little bit of stability while also still doing Ren Creative full time too. And managing it the best that I can so that I don't burn out, but really just kind of looking to do just to do a little bit something else so that my creativity can maybe take a little breather for a sec. But that doesn't mean I'm going anywhere, and it doesn't mean that I'm not taking clients. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of a redirect too, and giving the right side of my brain a rest for a sec. So I'm excited about that though.
That's more than fair. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll be working under Brett Andrus, which if there's anybody here that knows Brett, he's a gallery owner downtown and also an incredible oil painter.
Oh, nice.
So if you've ever been to Shame and Regret, most of the paintings that are in there are Brett's. But he also does mortgage loans.
Oh, wow.
And so he does mortgage loans, but then does his painting and does all of his other stuff on the side. You know, it's kind of
those are some massive, amazing paintings.
I know he's incredible. Yeah, I've taken some of his painting classes. If you ever want to take like a drawing or painting class, you should definitely take.
I excelled in that in high
him.
school, but I haven't really picked up painting for a long time.
He's a great teacher. Yeah. He's a really great teacher. Because it's easy to get kind of anyway. Not to derail, but he also does mortgage loans and helped me buy my house. So he's convinced that I have what it takes. We'll see how that goes, but
maybe
I'm excited about
maybe
it.
you'll just do oil painting instead if it doesn't work
right.
out.
I mean, I do still do a little oil painting on the side. You know, me and my 47 hobbies I'm not trying to monetize.
There you go. Yeah, because you're gonna start you start thinking, a big giant canvas that's $2,000. You know,
don't stop. We do have very similar brains, don't we? Yeah.
Do you know Michelle Edwards with Wirewood Station? Have you heard of the band Wirewood Station?
I don't think
super
so.
popular
Local band.
Yeah, here in
Wirewood
Springs.
Station.
Actually, they played the Gaylord
Range,
last night,
I
and
love
just
Front
like
Range. Gosh, I haven't been over there
she
in
plays
so
the
long.
fiddle, right? It's the fiddle.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a violin. You can
Violin
call it a fiddle. She'd probably call it a fiddle.
It's like over 100-year-old violin.
Oh,
fiddle.
yeah.
Incredible.
Great story behind that.
But
fiddle.
she also does mortgage lending on the side, so she's like,
Oh yeah,
it's an extreme creative, like
Yeah.
probably one of the best. She's toured with some of the greats too, of all time,
Yeah.
doing her music. And somehow on the side, she's doing this too. And it's just like, how do you do that? It's amazing.
I've really learned. I actually saw some content creator posted something really cool where, again, it was like not glorifying the hustle anymore, but also putting to bed like the whole like starving artist, type of archetype that's out there. And it's like, first of all, we've proven millennials, we can make money off of being creative. Like this is a thing, but this is not, this is not our parents' generation. Like we've figured out how to do this and we're not starving. So let's ditch that. But a lot of what I've seen is creatives are now going and like I've got my day thing that allows me the freedom to have my creative thing. And I think that is maybe chasing the balance right there, right? It's like, instead of having to put so much of my financial like stress and expectations into the creative side of my business, it's like, okay, but how about instead let's think a little bit differently and let's have something that funds the opportunity for me to then also do this thing too. But do it in a way where I'm no longer having to do it and be stressed about money and stressed about this paying my bills. And like, so the thought of doing them together, I feel like is going to just open so much more of a safer space for the creativity part to just feel less pressure, less, just less of that like hustle there. So I see a lot of people do that. Like a lot of people are in a band, but they're like, I'm a finance bro, like 8 to 5, but I tour with this band on the side. Like, I'm like, hell yeah. Like, good. Yes. Let's do that to fund all of this creative stuff too, so that we could still show up in both ways, but do it a little more sustainably.
I think you're so right. I think that's so right. Like, I think it's like bringing more joy back to that thing that actually you love so much. Because like we all get to that point when we do we're building our business and it just stops becoming fun. And that's fine because it's business at the end of the day, but like, it's got to be fun because that brings the best part of us out of there.
Right.
And if we have that balance from something that's kind of like a main, whatever it might be, whether it's a job or whatever it is, it balances us out. And we're like, okay, that's paying the bills.
Yeah.
That's what that's for. But when I do my thing that I'm passionate about,
I can be more intentional with it.
Totally.
And I can feel less like, oh my God, I have to get this done in 3 months because like realistically I have to bring in 4 more clients so that I can get the next 3 months paid for so that Q4 is, you know, is handled. And God forbid, you know, some personal thing happens and it's like, oh my gosh, like now I'm even more stressed because I needed to offload this client then so that I could onboard more work. So to kind of like fill in the pipeline. So like, it's really more of an intentional way to not have to push myself that hard anymore. Plus, it's really the mortgage side of things is just client management, and I'd be doing that. So
Yeah, you know how to do that at a high level. It seems like it seems like you've been doing that for quite some time.
Yeah, right. So hit me up in 3 to 6 months, everyone, if you are trying to buy or sell a home. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's interesting you say that too, because that's what my landlord has done. Like, you know, he has the house, the asset that he has where he can rent it out to people, and you know that allows him to probably be less, you know, focused on stressed about getting more clients, you
right?
know? And
that's
he
it
does
too.
an amazing
like
job.
For
though.
me, I'm like, I know that I'm 35, but in 5 years I'm 40. And I know that I'm not going to have as much hustle in me. I know I'm going to be tired. And I know that I'm going to be like, damn girl, you can't be doing this many photo shoots all the time too. Yeah. Listen, I'm just trying. I would rather still be so spunky and not have to bust my ass so hard
For sure, absolutely.
in 10 years. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's really like the foresight of that too, of like going like, okay, but if we could just like, if we could get our feet wet in mortgage stuff now and then kind of ease into it. So that way, by the time I am at this point, that's easy. But then I also still have all this to fall back on. That's never going to go. I'm never going to lose this skill set. It's always going to be here. It's real more future planning than anything too, so that I can relax. Maybe go to South America.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know what Trevor's crazy, man. Like, I'm sure it's just as stressful doing all that stuff too. You know, I'm not just as stressful, but I'm sure there's different stressfuls.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah. Because now you're a landlord, right? Yeah. Like now you're like, having to.
Well, now you're also in a foreign land where you don't know, like,
and that too. Yeah.
He probably loves it though. Like, I think us,
bet.
like creatives, like you and me, like we strive and stress like that, and like even Marcus likes stress too. But
to some
That's
extent.
how I relate to you guys. I just like stress like you guys.
As I'm like picking my fingers and like sweating. Look, I'm sweating on camera. No one look.
Well, maybe you don't, but like I know with me, it's
no,
like it's
sure.
almost something that like we subconsciously seek out, even though we complain about it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, right. I do chase the stress. I'm trying not to.
Yeah,
anymore,
and that
right?
kind of that's full circle back to what you were talking about from the beginning. Your therapist, it sounded like your therapist helped you identify that.
Yeah,
and now you're starting to see it yourself. I think you know.
Yeah, well, and then again too, it's like okay, well, I've been able to manage it for this long, but like when I am older, like do I want to? Nah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nah.
There's good stress and there's bad stress.
So they like Michael Jordan used to reframe stress to pressure, and I think that makes a little bit more sense to me. Like I seek pressure.
Oh, I do be loving some pressure.
Yeah, and that brings the best out of
I do
the right
love
people.
like the what is it the like the 18th hour. What are they having? Like the
11th hour?
The 11th hour. And that is when I do my best.
Me too,
work.
actually.
God, and I hate it about myself.
We just
really
had a good 11th hour this weekend at an
Man.
event that we did.
I really fucking hate it about myself. But it's like
Yeah, I feel
sometimes
ya.
I'll have a brand pitch due, and it's like the meeting is scheduled for Wednesday. Tuesday night, I'm cranking, and it's like, why do I do this to myself? And I used to be really hard on myself about it. I'm like, you got it. It's a procrastination. Girl, you are procrastinating. What are you doing? And then I've done a lot of research and like looked into just people with ADHD, like just having my brain is like sometimes it needs that pressure and it needs that deadline, and it also needs like, it's not to say that I've procrastinated fully. My brain has been subconsciously thinking about designing this logo for the past however long.
Stressed about it the whole time.
Oh, stressed, having stress dreams about it. I've like straight up.
I had nightmares about the event the week before.
Literally I have problem solved logos that I've been stuck on.
Doesn't that
in
piss you
my
off?
sleep.
Doesn't that
No,
piss
I love it. Are you fucking kidding me?
If you go in, like, I'm talking about the specific dreams where you just spent 4 hours editing
and I'm
in
like,
your
and
dream.
now I have to work an 8-hour workday,
and
and I'm
you
like,
wake
I just
up,
worked a 4.
I just did all that.
I just worked a 9 to 5 in my sleep cycle just now. But no, sometimes it's really honestly so cool. Like I will wake up
definitely great,
and go, oh fuck, I know exactly what I have to fix.
Absolutely,
I know exactly what I have to fix, and my subconscious was really working in my favor last night.
Yeah.
And like that's super cool. And let's like solve this problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out that way, but
But
sometimes
it's
my brain
external-
is fascinating like that.
It's external validation though, because like this is your mindset, what you do.
I know I really
personally,
need to
Lauren.
stop being validated that
I know, and then
that I
people
can
say,
do
"This is
shit the day before the
amazing."
brand presentation.
Well, certain
but
things are just bigger. So I've had that thing all month actually, because the project that I was working on just required like that much work. Like it was
Yeah.
like multiple marathons, like 3 different, like every single week, like just multiple marathons. And it was all the way up until the launch day or the pre-launch day. And it's still going on right now, actually.
Yeah.
We have an actual launch day coming up soon. So I have to make sure I get all these other things done. So it's like, it's literally been my main focus. And actually my other clients are suffering because of it. So
I understand how that feels.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's also too, it's like, yo, but I'm in this right now.
Yeah.
I'm deep in it and I got to stay locked into it.
Mhm.
And then it'll be okay. Like I'll pick up the mess like afterwards. But like right now, like, and that's the thing about being creative, right? Like if it's not coming to you, it's not coming to you. I'm not going to force it.
Mhm.
You know, like if I'm just not like, I'm like, God, I've hit a roadblock. I'm not inspired. And I think that that's the other thing too, that you being a creative person by nature and problem solving, right?
Mhm.
Is like, okay, well now I'm still existing out in the world. And guess what? I'm looking at color differently right now because I'm thinking about this project that I'm working on. I'm looking at other logos. I'm looking at a texture that I saw on a brick building the other day, or I saw like piece of graffiti that inspired me to do this thing, or I saw, just something, another design out there, and I'm like, oh, that's a really cool way to do that. And then it gets you back to the drawing board again, and it's like, there's so much inspiration that's out there for us. It's just a matter of like, are you seeing it? Are you paying attention to it? Are you allowing it to inspire, the work that you're doing? And so sometimes it's hard to get on yourself. You're like, damn, you're really not getting this shit done. And it's like, no, but it's art. I'm making art, man. Like cut a girl a break.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's me to me, really. I'm like
Yeah,
telling
for
I'm
sure.
like,
I
girl,
feel you.
chill
Yeah.
out. Like, we're gonna get this shit done one way or another.
Absolutely.
Like it's gonna happen.
Well, Lauren, this has been just so fun interviewing you. This is our actual first time meeting you, which is incredible.
Yeah, this has been so great.
it's
I
been
was
so
so
much fun.
anxious too. I didn't smoke any pot before this either.
But about 10 minutes in, you started riding into your soul and you were
Aw,
good. So
thanks,
yeah.
you guys. Thanks for being great interviewers. This was so much
Yeah.
fun.
I have one more question for you before we
Yeah.
turn the camera over to you. So you moved here, you're like 22-ish when you moved to Colorado Springs?
I was 22.
22-ish?
Mhm.
So what piece of advice would 35-year-old Lauren give 22-year-old Lauren?
Oh, shut up. Man, I would have told myself, to learn how to play the game a little bit better. Like I was working a lot of corporate jobs and I was not so good at towing the corporate line.
Is that what you say? Shut up?
Yes, I would have told myself to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Girl, shut the
feel
fuck
that.
up. You don't know what you're talking about. You've not earned this ability to walk into a room like this. Listen, slow down, and like try not to have so much ego. I definitely you come out right out of art school or, college, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're so confident and excited about what you're doing. It's like, humble yourself just for a sec, watch and observe. Listen, take advice from the people that you're working with and pay attention. But also shut the fuck up.
You got yourself into some trouble?
Yeah, I got fired from a lot of jobs.
Okay.
A lot of jobs. But hey, it's because I was supposed to be my own boss. You know what I mean? So, I would definitely tell myself to just, hey, don't let your ego kind of take over. And understand you've still got a lot to learn and a lot to get to where you're gonna eventually arrive to an authentic full version of yourself. But you can't skip past the work that it takes to get there. I couldn't have skipped past 22 to get to 35. I needed to go through all of that. I needed to experience all those things and just be present and be in it and be okay with it and true to yourself, and shut the fuck up.
So do you think Jesus missed out when he skipped all those years?
What?
All right,
First of all, he got those years because I think he was 33 when he died.
Yeah,
Hey, that's some Bible college throwback for you right
33,
there.
that's my age right now, so I'm gonna die. No,
The age of Jesus.
Yeah, that's right.
all right, so yes.
All right, Lauren. Well, this is your camera. Where can we find you? Right here.
Oh, hey. Wait, so where can you find me?
Yeah.
You can find me at www.rencreative.com. No E at the end. That was a poor branding mistake on my 20-something-year-old entrepreneurial brain. You could find me on social media. I've got 2 different websites. Ren Creative Photo for all of my B2C family photos, wedding photography, food photography, that kind of good stuff. And then if you're a business, all my B2B work can be found separately at Ren Creative. Don't go on my Instagram, Ren Creative graphic design account because I lost that password 3 years ago.
Have you not tried to reach out and recover it? I'm sure you have.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can find me at my Ren Creative Photo Instagram.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm sure you probably already tried everything, so I'm not even going to say anything. So I
Yeah.
feel like you could somehow recover it, but maybe not. You probably.
It's a matter of reinstating old email accounts that got closed because that's where the 2-factor
Yeah, yeah.
verification is happening, is that they're trying to send the codes to an email that doesn't exist anymore. So it's just,
Support? Have you?
I just have to do it.
You've done the support and everything?
no, I just haven't done it.
Oh,
I
got
just
you.
have to do it.
Well, then it's. If you want to see how it did work, look at
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been the COS Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.